Hi guys, welcome to this session in Google Sheets. In this module, I want to show you how you can grab non-adjacent columns with an XLOOKUP. But before I do that, I want to show you what the issue with a VLOOKUP might be if you haven't got the lookup code or the lookup item in the first column. So on the left, I've got a table with the codes in the left column, and a VLOOKUP will work. Let's have a look at this. So if I go equals VL, comes up, I press my tab key to get that. I'm clicking on this code, cell A3, comma. Now I need to select this whole table, comma, and then I need to say which column I want. So first of all, column 2, then comma, then an exact match, which is 0. Close the bracket, press enter, and I should get whatever that code is, so nuts. Now the problem with that is when I go to pull this across, I'm going to have to change quite a few things. So it's coming up with incorrect data here. So now it's looking at B3, nuts, and then doing the same sort of thing. I don't want it to do that. So there's a couple of ways I can fix this. One is to name this cell. So I'm going to name that cell input. Press and enter on that. And I'm going to name this table product. So I could have used dollar signs, but I like to name things. Press enter there. So now if I change this formula, I'll just do it again. So I'll just type equals VL, pressing tab. When I click on there, it still puts A3, but I can type input and it'll pick that up as a name. So look at the input cell, comma, look at the product table, comma. You can tell it's picking up the names because the color changes slightly. Now, I don't want to type a 2 here because what I've got at the top here is some numbers. If I click on E1 and use that as a reference, which actually says 2, that will mean column 2 for the VLOOKUP. And as I pull it across, it will go to the 3, and then the 4, and then the 5. So now I'm doing a comma and doing 0, exact match, closing the bracket, press enter. So that comes in with nuts. But when I pull this across, it should fill it in. And it has done. So if I change that to something else, so if I go A, B, D, press enter on that, it's coming up with bolts, and you can see it's picking up the right information. So that's quicker than me typing in 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. It's also quicker than me dollar signing the input cell and dollar signing fixing this table. So that's what a VLOOKUP does. Now the problem with that is that this lookup code has to be in the first column of that table, which is not great. Now if I just show you what XLOOKUP would do, so you've just seen what I've done there. If I just delete this off, so XLOOKUP, which is a newer function, so equals XL tab, still looking at that, comma, wants to look at the codes. Now the code is on the left hand side, and I'll show you an example over here where the code's in the middle. But all you do on this one is comma, and then you select the return array, what you want to come back, which is all of this. And then I'll close the bracket and just press enter on that. And it just drops everything in. So I didn't have to worry about naming anything or changing the column number. The XLOOKUP just picked up what I wanted to do and returned all the relevant stuff for that code. And if I type ABC again at the top, comes back with nuts and the price and the date, etc. Now the VLOOKUP worked as well as the XLOOKUP. VLOOKUP was a bit more clunky. XLOOKUP was quick. VLOOKUP had to have this in the left hand column. So in this example, I've got the code in the middle, and I'm going to do a VLOOKUP, and you can see how it's not going to work. Equals VL, pressing tab, still looking at that, doing a comma, highlighting the table, doing a comma. Now it wants a column, so what can I press here? I want column 2, from this table, but column 2 is column 1 in this table. If I put 1 and then comma 0, close the bracket, press enter, nothing's happening. Doesn't like it. So get rid of that one. So what about XLOOKUP? So I'll go equals XL, press tab, click on that, comma. Now the good news is I can select that code, which will work, comma, but now it wants to return. So I want all of these blue cells to come back. I can't just select the blue cells, even if I use my control key to select them like that, and then close the bracket and press enter. It only brings the first 2 in, it hasn't brought these in. So what we have to do is do this. This is the exact function that I'm going to do, the formula. We have to put the range that I want in these sort of brackets, these curly brackets. So if I delete that and do it again, delete that one. So it's equals XL, press tab, still click on that, code, comma, select the list, comma, but now curly brackets, and then highlight the first pair, which is these 2, do a comma, and then highlight the next pair, which are these 2, and then close the curly bracket, and then close the XLOOKUP bracket, and then press enter, and it all drops it in. So if I change that code to A, B, C again, comes back with nuts and everything's pulling it through. So that is the formula that you have to use if you've got your code in the middle of a table and you want to bring all the other information back. This one, VLOOKUP, will work as well as XLOOKUP, but XLOOKUP is probably quicker. VLOOKUP, you're going to have to name ranges and use something like this so you don't have to type every single column. But that's all I want to talk about in this little video, how you can get non-adjacent data to return with an XLOOKUP. So hopefully that was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.